Alright, so everyone always wants to know how to cook beer can chicken. This is one of our several recipes to cook beer can chicken on the grill. Our grill's been on high for probably 15 minutes. All of our burners are essentially on low. We've already brushed it off. The grill is nice and clean. It's extremely hot. We have a thawed out whole chicken here. Can of Bud Light. This is some local sauce that we're going to use. It's barbecue sauce, but I'll explain that later. We want some olive oil spray to make everything stick. And this is butt rub. We use butt rub all the time. You can order online at your local barbecue stores. I love it. It's paprika, garlic, salt. I'm missing cayenne pepper, things like that. It's great. So basically what you want to do is you want to thaw out chicken. You're going to open a can of beer. You're going to put it in the middle here. You're going to stand it up. We're going to spray it with olive oil. Then we're going to coat it with our barbecue sauce and then sprinkle the butt rub. It's going to take about 45 minutes to cook. You want to cook it on low. That's the key to this whole process. Do not burn this thing. Let the beer boil inside. Let the can marinate throughout the process. You don't want to overcook or rush the process. If it takes an hour, great, but you want your burners on low. So what we're going to do is we're going to open our can of beer, our Bud Light, make sure it's wide open. We're going to put it in the middle. We're going to stand it up on the grill. Then I'll show you what we do after that. Alright, so we've got our Bud Light in the chicken. It's standing up in the grill. I always try to keep the top rack on and kind of sit it up against it. This is the reason I do these videos. So my two middle burners are off, my two side burners are on low. Alright, indirect heat at least for the first 20 minutes. I take some olive oil spray and I just spray it very liberally. Be careful because this will flame up. You don't want to hurt yourself here. This is to kind of get everything to stick to it. Not only that, but I think olive oil spray really does a good job of helping it cook. Alright? So we've got some olive oil spray. This is some local stuff. This is Mama Lou's barbecue sauce that I got out of some sort of festival we were at. It's cider vinegar, tomato sauce, brown sugar, salt, peppers, onion, spices. I think this is somewhere out of North Carolina. Yeah, it's actually out of Wilmington, North Carolina. Since 1969, Mama Lou's been doing the sauce. So I like sauces like this because what I'll do, I remember buying this. It's like a year ago. I take it and I just kind of pour it over just a little bit. So you kind of pour it down the middle, alright? Don't waste it. Just kind of coat the chicken. Remember, this first process is very slow. Then I take our butt rub. And what I'm going to do is just kind of sprinkle it. Alright. Now I'm going to let it sit, as I say. I'm going to close this down. Remember, no heat, low and low. I'm going to close down the grill. And I will not touch this thing for at least 25 to 30 minutes. Let the beer boil. It will not burn if you have the burners on, like indirect heat. Let that beer soak through the chicken. Let those spices sit into the skin, and then we'll check back after that. Okay, so we're about 20 minutes into the cooking process. I'm doing this just to show you that it's not burning. Don't want this to burn. Well, it's important that we're at almost probably 525 degrees Fahrenheit and there's no flame. This is what you want. The spices are settling in. You have indirect heat over here, indirect heat over here, and we're slowly cooking the chicken. We're going to close it down because we want to keep the heat in. Notice we've already dropped 75 degrees. Just slowly cook the chicken. Okay, so we're at that 35-45 minute mark. We're just right at 500 degrees. This is when we do what I call we fire it up. We end the cooking process. We get time to eat. So we've had a lot of, you can see a little bit of steam coming out the top. Definitely this is the part where when we get that beer in the middle just cooking, boiling, when we get that the spices in there. We're not going to add any more spices, any more sauce. What we're going to do is we're going to turn up the heat big time. So you can see that left side on high, right side on high. We're going to keep these two off. But for the next 15 minutes, we're going to really start kicking up the temperature. So close your lid down, watch the temperature rise. Alright, so we're at that crucial time here where we are at lots of heat. You'll notice that there's definitely some, what looks like a burnt chicken, which is not. This is a lot of the spices on top. You'll notice that everything is, there's no flame. Yes, it's hot. It's 650 degrees. We're going to turn our burners off in the middle. Turn our burners off on the side. No more heat. This is not burnt. This is what you have to know about this. You can see the heat coming out of the top where the beer is still boiling. Be very careful when you do this. I recommend that you take some tongs like this, grab it in the middle, dump that boiling beer either in a pan or in something that you can control. It is extremely hot. This is perfect. So we don't eat the skin either way. We always peel this off, let it cool for a good 15 to 20 minutes. But you want to peel that off. It's perfect. I mean, this is one of the best chickens I've done. Beer is boiling. You can literally see it coming out of the top. Nothing is burnt. I'm going to let it sit for probably another 10 minutes before we pull it off. Tons of heat, but nothing flamed up. Nothing exploded. That's the hardest thing to do. Actually, it's the easiest thing to do because most people do that. But it's great. It's moist. Perfect. Enjoy. Let us know what you think.